Good morning, everybody. Monday morning again, and we're now the 29th of March. My goodness, the end of March. So, and we started all this, 23rd of March last year. My goodness. Anyway, I'm calling this Focus Monday, and I think this was because I wanted to try and look at whether we look at the big picture or do we look at the tiny details, or should we just do both? And does it really matter whether you're a person who focuses on the big picture or just the small details? For me, it's a bit like using your left and right brain. Remember, I did a video on that, where if you're a left brain, then you're more maybe logical and rational, and your right brain is you're more creative. And what I suggested, and you can go back and listen to that video, but I suggested that you really should be using your whole brain. So it's a case of trying to have this balance, and that's why I want to look at the big picture or the small details. Should you maybe have balance as well? If you're the kind of person that sees the big picture for yourself, then you probably quietly and calmly become the master of your own life. You know where you're going, you know what you want to do, you understand, and you actually can balance your thoughts and feelings and behaviours in order to create the life you want. You tend to probably plan in advance with the big picture in mind. So although you've maybe got some details, you're still looking at the big picture. You've got that in mind. If you're the small detail type of person, then you're somebody who tends to think on a day-to-day basis. You kind of sometimes forget the big picture and you're so focused on the day-to-day base, what you're doing day to day. Now, it's actually okay to be both. Neither one is right or wrong or bad or wrong. So, but it is better if you can do both. You need to kind of take a balanced approach. So even if you've got something big coming up, you'll plan every detail. But if you're the person who is only thinking about day to day, you forget that big picture, and that's not very good. You really should be still remembering your vision, your dreams, and then maybe take a step-by-step approach towards achieving your big picture. So you need to ask yourself maybe what is the big picture? What are the big topics? That includes maybe some of the big topics, the milestones in life. So these are major life events like, well, goodness, there's so many. There's the schooling, the career, your marriage, birth, children's education, retirement, and so on. So of course they all need strategy and planning. I mean, you can see lots of ads on the TV like, have you planned for your funeral? Have you planned for your retirement? So they're focusing on the long-term kind of planning. And you need to think about these big milestones. And of course, again, thinking about them, that's maybe your bigger picture. You then have to think, well, how will I reach that? So you have to plan how to achieve that towards the big milestone. It doesn't mean planning every single detail if your plans go astray, because if you're focused totally on the small detail and something goes wrong, that's when you start to be stressed, you're frustrated with yourself, you feel bad because you forgot to plan that little bit, and things are not going the way you hoped. So you've really got to remember that life is too short to waste time getting frustrated and annoyed with yourself, particularly if things have happened that are outside of your control. Remember, we've done lots of videos, I've talked a lot about you can't control everything in life, but you can control how you respond to it. So you need to be flexible and adaptable, and just remember that you can't control everything. All you can do is plan for the things that are within your control. But if something happens unexpectedly, you need to be able to be flexible and know how to respond to that unexpected situation. And of course, you can go back and look at the videos that we've talked about this. So when it comes to health and personal emotional growth and self-improvement, you do need to look at the big picture and the small detail. So for example, keep the big picture in mind, but you need to have a regular daily plan when it's your self-development. I think that's what people tend to forget. You know, you think, well, I've done something good today with this exercise, my physical or mental exercise, and that's fine. But, that's not going to hold for you for the big picture. So you need to ask yourself, do you have a regular daily plan, particularly for your health? Where do you see yourself in 2 years, in 6 months even, in 2 years, in 5 years and longer? Do you want to make a difference in the world, or how do you want to be remembered? I mean, these are huge, big picture questions. For the small details, you need to ask yourself, well, what will you do regularly to improve your personal development, to improve your well-being? When you think positively and you want to be someone who thinks positively and change your mindset, because when you do that, you're improving your well-being, but you're actually also attracting like-minded, positive people to you. And to help with the small detailed plans, I've actually started my Mind Circles Wellbeing group. I've invited people to join that. These are people who are committed and dedicated to improving their overall well-being, and know that it's something that they just need to do regularly to improve their well-being. I also know that, and I'll be doing, I think my video, somebody suggested, why is it that we might have plans to do something and we don't follow them through? So I'm going to call Wednesday's video the Why Wednesday, because why do we stop? Well, really, it's probably to do with motivation. Now, I know how difficult it is to stay motivated by yourself. We all need positive, supportive and inspiring people who help us in our continuing personal growth journey. So there's a tendency to forget that improving and maintaining your overall well-being, it's a continuous journey. It's not something that has a beginning and an end. And I've actually had people, when I used to do even stress workshops or personal development, in fact, I mentor people, and often the question they'll say to me is, how long is this? How long will I need to do this? Is it a 2-week course, a 3-weekend course? And of course, the real answer is no, it's not. Personal development is forever. So, and of course, you might think, because you've got, hi there, Lynn, good to see you. You might think that, well, I've got a mentor, a personal trainer, I've got a coach, and and I can phone them. You might have something that you maybe chat to them once a month or whatever, and think, well, I don't need to do anything, and then I speak to them once a month. Well, that's really not enough. You won't be a changed person by doing that. They can help you, but you really need to work on yourself as well. And of course, that's where you might think, well, Pat's designed these ABC, that's my ABC techniques, and I can just do them a few times and everything will be wonderful and I'll be this positive person. Well, no. My ABC are psychologically effective techniques for reducing stress and anxiety, improving your overall well-being, energizing you, making you this positive person. But that only happens if you make them your good habit. That's why they're easy to use. I designed them that way. But what's hard is to make them this good habit, to remember to do it. We've all had bad habits, we know that. Maybe some of you were smokers, and one cigarette when you were a teenager, and suddenly you're smoking every day, and how difficult it is to get out of the bad habit. How easy was it to form that bad habit? Quite easy. You just did it all the time. Of course, that's what you need to do for the good habit. You need to practice things every day. And the reason I kind of made things easy with the ABC is you have routines, or you should have routines: brushing your teeth, brushing your hair. And it says she's looking at my hair at the moment. Needs the hairdressers to open up again. We're a bit behind in Scotland. But you need to be looking at when you're brushing your hair or brushing your teeth, just think ABC. And that means you're doing it every day, and you'll have a routine before you go to bed. Do it then as well. And suddenly you will find that you have the ABC there when you need a friend on the shoulder, I call it, when you want or need. So using them, if you actively work on your personal development and know that it's a process, it's a journey, it does take time. And of course, we're all impatient, aren't we? We want everything to happen now. And I think, I remember talking about, sorry, I don't know what's happening to my voice, but I know that I've talked about this before. I wish I had a magic wand. I wish I had the magic tube of Smarties that I could say, look, everything will be fine. You take a blue on a Monday, a pink on a Tuesday, green on a Wednesday, and all your worries will go away and you'll be this fabulously positive person. It just doesn't happen that way. But you can help yourself if you use the ABC. So I'm also going to be announcing for my lovely wellbeing group a wellbeing program, because what I've recognised, I know, everybody knows, that it's very difficult to stay motivated. So you need something that's just helping you to motivate you when you feel low. And we all have low periods, some maybe more than others. And I think I've said that recently, that this month I felt really quite overwhelmed with emotions. I know there's birthday events and things can trigger my emotions, but it seems to have come more in waves. It's quite difficult to understand why now, but that happens all times of year. So you've got to be dedicated, of course. When I've got my Mind Circles Wellbeing program, there will be a cost, because I can't keep doing, you'll have lots of freebies. You've got my videos, my podcast, well, unless you're paying £4 a month for that. But, there's things I thought, well, if you really value it, you will be willing to pay. But I've made it, I think, a level accessible to all. And what it is, I'm going to do videos. So in fact, you don't need to be there. The videos will be recorded, so you can then look back at them whenever you want. And there's nothing better, hopefully, than having me and my program to keep you motivated. Now, personal growth and improving your overall well-being needs you to make changes every day. When you make changes, they not only impact that day, but many days ahead. So what can you do? What are the tips? Well, apart from using my ABC, of course, do something kind for someone else. Nothing makes you and the other person feel really good. It's very satisfying. Your journal or your diary. Now, I do hope that you've got my Changing Seasons of Life book. That's your creative diary. And thanks to people who've given me feedback that they're really enjoying the stories. They are stories based on my life, but very abstract. So you've really got to delve deep and think, what was happening there? What was she doing there? And of course, then there's poems as well by Danielle. Absolutely fabulous. She's somebody who, at the drop of a hat, can do a poem that's a rhyming poem. A tremendous talent. So what you need your diary for, even if it's not the Changing Seasons of book, just have a diary or a journal. And you need to reflect on what's happened at the end of the day. Now, write down your thoughts and feelings. I think what people tend to maybe it puts them off having a journal and diary. They think, I've got to write like War and Peace. I've got to write everything. No, it's an odd word here or there. It could be cried today, emotions overwhelmed today, or feeling good today, or a help. So just the odd phrases. It doesn't need to be a huge paragraph. And it doesn't matter anyway what you write, because this is for you. It's private to you. Don't show it to anyone else, even your loved ones, because often people do not understand. You might have written something. I don't know about you, but if you've written something on a bit of paper and somebody comes in and sees what you've written, they might think, I bet that's about me. That's a tendency. Having a bad day, you might have written, and if somebody over your shoulder sees that, that just opens the floodgates. Was it me? I think I've done something, so they start just imagining all sorts. So this is for you. And then you ask yourself, when you've got written down your thoughts and feelings, you ask yourself, could I have reacted in a different way, maybe a more positive way to the situation today? And that's why it's important maybe to do this every day. It's also quite interesting. Of course, I've kept a diary for years from being very young. And it's interesting when you look back and you think, did I feel that way then? I don't remember that. I don't feel that way now. And it was the same with writing the stories. Some of the stories in my book, The Changing Seasons of Life, I wrote 20 years ago. And they were handwritten, so I do know it was me that was writing them. And I was thinking, did I actually write that? You can surprise yourself by what's in your brain, what's in your mind. The other thing is, of course, something might have affected you that day. Maybe somebody hurt you and you think, could I have apologised? Could I have done it sooner? Maybe I need to think about that. Now remember, you all view situations differently. We all do that. Have you ever chatted in a family about, it can be anything. Do you remember that day we went to the beach and so-and-so did this or that? And suddenly your siblings or your parents or friends will go, no, I don't remember that happening. It didn't happen that way. That wasn't me. This happened. So you all remember something differently. And this is because we see situations in a different way from each other. And this is because it depends on how your individual thoughts, your feelings and behaviours shape your world. So it's not that I know it can start arguments, but it's not really that. Your memory of something is just different from someone else's from the same situation. So what you can do is, instead of getting into an argument, take a step back and sort of look at how you react to what they're saying, how you react to situations, how you interact with people, because you can learn so much about yourself when you do this. And of course, you learn about other people too. And that takes me to the first topic that I'm going to have in my wellbeing program, and that is self-awareness. Now, most of us think we know ourselves, and yes, we might and we might not. I think what we tend to do is we tend to think about there's two things. We tend to think maybe about all our feelings, all our weaknesses, but we also have strengths, and I think sometimes we forget about that. But there are others who focus on their strengths. It's nothing wrong with them. There's never anything wrong with them. Now, I can think of an interview recently, perhaps on TV. Don't want to go down that road, but there are people who, to me, come across as totally unaware of themselves and perhaps everyone else round about them. So you need to think of people you know. Do you find yourself saying, they're totally unaware of themselves? Now remember, when you're saying that, reflect back on yourself. Well, am I actually really aware of myself? Because to become self-aware, it's the most important step on the journey to self-improvement and personal development. And what happens is, the reason we don't do it is we need to look at how we've been labelled, even from birth onwards, our past conditioning. You need to challenge your beliefs, your belief system. Are they yours? Are they someone else's? Because when you delve deep into yourself like that, it can be very scary. And that's why lots of us don't bother taking that step. I hope that with maybe the tutorials, I don't like calling them that, but I'm not sure what to call them. Because immediately you say tutorials, people go, oh, there's a lot of work here. Well, I know there will be work, but I want to make it fun. I want to make it that, not to worry about it, What were maybe we could have a chat as well, or I can answer your questions. Because if I write down, well, I was told I was selfish when I was younger to talk about myself. other people might resonate with that and go, oh yeah, I was told that as well. So you kind of left with that label, and actually you realise that you're not a selfish person, and it's not selfish to go, do you know what? I'm good at what I do. So it's this, again, the balance between arrogance and assertiveness, really. So I'm hoping that the videos will be working through the well-being self-awareness topic, and then these will be recorded so you can look at them as and when you've got time and when you're able. And of course you can ask questions and we can share thoughts too. So of course I've got my ABC to support you, so no matter what happens, even if you're in a scary moment, you use my ABC, and that's like your friend on the shoulder, there when you want or need. And I'm also, I've had a bit of fun and games actually with the Mind Circles Wellbeing group, because I am getting, I don't know if many of you know, I think I posted up, but I thought I'll try the room. So I pressed room, and not expecting everyone to come on, but I thought some people might realise there's a room has opened up. So I spent about 3 minutes talking to myself. It felt like it was almost like a seance. I was going, is anyone there? Is anyone there? And of course, no one came on. So I just closed the room down. Lo and behold, a couple of minutes later, somebody came on. And I joined there. It was my room, but I joined them. So it got a bit complicated, but it was fabulous. I chatted to Joanne, and then somebody else came in, and then we closed that room, and then somebody else joined. So I realised that why people were doing this. I think on the Facebook, if you see join, they were clicking the join button, but that was joining a room. Anyway, it didn't matter. It was good to see everybody. But I put out a request as to when people would like a room to be open so we can chat. And I think I'm probably going to settle for, thanks to everybody for, well, the people who have said Tuesday night, and I think 8 o'clock. Now, last night I had a nice impromptu meeting in the room with Ellen, and she said, but what are you going to chat about? And I said, well, I don't really know, but I think just to have, it could just be to say, look, how's everybody doing? What have you been doing today? I'm hoping it's very positive, but I know that if it's something, maybe it's been a sad day and something's happened, we can support each other and say, look, we're here. We can maybe do a wee meditation. I don't know. It's just a free for all, but we've got to stay positive. And there's no politics and no COVID. I think we've had enough of that. So it's just general chit chat, and we can enjoy that hopefully. So for today, I was thinking your affirmations. You need to do the ABC. So what would you say today? A, I keep hold of my dreams, or I have a big picture in life. I am committed to my well-being. Something like that. That's your 3 Ps, your positive, personal with the word I, positive and personal, present tense. So that would be your A for today, or make up your own, put it in your diary. And every day you could have a different affirmation or the same one. When you're new to sort of the ABC, your affirmation for every day could just be, I feel good. I feel good. So in the morning, when you step out of bed, roll out of bed, and you're not really wanting to get up, in your mind just say, I feel good. I feel good. And it immediately just lifts your spirits. And of course, B, we all know hopefully now, B is for breathing. And of course, it's the deep breathing. It's from the diaphragm, and that calms, it relaxes, and it energizes you. Absolutely fabulous. If you're getting frustrated, impatient, angry, just take a step back and then exhale. And it's just a split second, 3 deep breaths makes you feel really good. See, today I thought I'm going to do, wasn't sure which one to do, but I think as it's talking about focus, and we're talking about big picture and tiny detail. And I hope you liked the picture, the image that was says on it, the credit is on the photo. Excuse me, I'm talking before I do my... It's a puffball. You probably remember as a child, I know we used to pick the dandelion heads and then blow, he loves me not, he loves me, he loves me not. But that one picture is just where the raindrops are on it. I think it showed the overall picture and the tiny detail. To me, it was just stunning, the stunning beauty of nature again. So I thought, I'm not going to do a meditation on the puffball, but I thought we would do the one on the feather, the floating white feather, which is white feathers are really close to my heart. I love when just one floats down and I know that someone whom I've lost who's in heaven is looking down on me. Of course, to me it's my son. But I hope you've also, all of you have maybe little things that happen to you like that, because it really just lifts your spirits as well. So sitting with our feet on the ground and comfortable, back straight, not stiff, we don't want to be stiff, but just comfortable. That gives us a bit of confidence when your back is straight. And we close our eyes, and this meditation, the floating feather, it helps you focus, but it also brings peace and calm to your mind and body. And it also helps you be aware of everything around you. So if you close your eyes and just take a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale through the mouth. Take another deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale slowly through the mouth. Now imagine yourself sitting in a quiet, peaceful place. Breathe in deeply to the count of 3. Hold, and then exhale slowly. Imagine a soft white feather. It's floating above you. You watch this fluffy feather slowly floating down. You are aware of how delicate and fine it is. You feel a sense of lightness. Your mind is calm. Your body is calm. You have more awareness. Say to yourself, I feel calm. I feel relaxed. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold, and then exhale slowly through the mouth. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Hold, and then exhale slowly through the mouth. Say to yourself again, my mind is calm, my body is calm. I am more aware of everything around me. And then you can just open your eyes and just yawn or stretch your arms just to bring yourself back into the now. A very quick meditation, but it just relaxes you and hopefully sets you up for the day. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll be back on Wednesdays. I see I'm calling that Why Wednesday. Of course, you'll need to find out why by listening to me on Wednesday. But it's really all about sort of motivation. Somebody did ask me about why do we make a list of things and then we don't follow through. Kind of maybe all sorts of reasons, but we'll maybe debug that myth. Anyway, we'll see what we can do to motivate you for Wednesday. So if you've got a suggestion, of course, for future titles, for future videos, please PM or email me. My latest radio interview will be aired on Easter Friday, and I'll let you know the link so you can listen to it. As always, it's focused on well-being, but I'm not sure what take it's going to, what direction it's going to take, but it will definitely be on well-being. But I'm looking forward to that, and it's on Mighty Radio, actually. Not sure, 107.9. I'll put the link up, but she's a wonderful lady who interviewed me, Cassie James, and boy, is she inspiring, particularly considering her health issues as well. But she's a marvellous lady. So we had a fabulous chat. We just connected. And I think hopefully we're going to do maybe regular interviews. I just definitely got on with her. And it's wonderful. It's amazing how I've never met her obviously, but you connect with people. And I know that there are people in my group as well that have become really good friends. They're like sisters to me. We've maybe had similar challenges, but you just connect. And I love that. And even although we've not met, you have that, there's connections all around the world, so it's absolutely fabulous. And just one wee bit of laugh, but I'm probably a bit tired today, but I think with this room thing, I heard last night a buzz and I thought, what's that? And it was the room, and it was a lovely friend, Ellen, from across the water in Vancouver. And of course, she said, hello. She said, I'm just joining your group. And of course, we realised then she's joining the room. And I said, well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning here. And she said, oh, it's 8 o'clock at night here. But actually, it was good fun. And I mean, I don't mind that, but because working from home, I'll maybe have a wee snooze later. But I'll give a wee wave to people. Oh, there's Gurpreet. Hello there. Hiya. So it's lovely having everybody on, listening and watching. And as always, what are my 2 tips? I say, smile and laugh. They cost you nothing. And boy, do they make you feel good, and everybody around about you feels better as well. So bring that feel good feeling I want to bring it to the world. Anyway, virtual hugs to everybody, and until Wednesday, thank you again. You inspire and motivate me by watching and listening. Thank you very much. Bye for now.